Hello and good evening. Welcome to the first lecture of Community Voices, which is a brand new initiative by CETRA. I hope it's going to be a success, primarily because I think it is something that matters to us at CETRA, and more important than that, it's something about Colville Estate, Hoxton, and Greater Hackney. The main driver for this initiative has been really to talk to people who care about the area, come from the area, or have a story to tell us about the area. And on that note, I'm particularly pleased and happy for our first guest to be able to speak to Remi, who is a long-term local resident. And Remi, thank you. Welcome. And Remi,
Mhm.
the floor is yours. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we take it from there. We will be talking to you about your experience, what you have observed, how you see the changes that have taken place in Colville Estate, Hoxton area, and we take it from there. It's not a structured conversation, so we see how it goes. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
I'm Remi. I work as a chef manager, but I previously have several jobs, including working in the film industry and other stuff. I grew up in Colville Estate. I've been in Colville Estate since 1998. Matter of fact, I came off the plane straight to Colville Estate and seen a lot of changes since then. It's changed a lot from 1998, I could tell you that. Some have been good, some have been bad. In terms of my experience in the estate, it was fun. I think it was a close estate that I come into, right? When I came in 98, it was a very close unit estate. I know who my neighbors are. I pretty much know all the kids that live in the estate that was around my age. And the one that are younger than me, I know who they are, they know who I am. So yeah, it's always been like a family welcoming estate, which was good, which, it's a good thing. Growing up in the estate was a lot of fun because you have people your age to do stuff with. That's always someone playing out. So yeah, it was a good time. Someone's holidays are fun. So yeah.
So in 1998, when you arrived, first day, you come out of your flat. What did you see? What was the environment around you? What struck you as outstanding or remarkable that has left an impression? Was it the people? Was it the building?
Oh no, not the building, not the building for sure. The people. I have to say the people, right? Because when I came to England, I was massively disappointed in the house, it's not just what you expected, right? You've watched the movies. In the 90s, there's no social media. So if you're in Africa in the 90s, you know nothing apart from what people are telling you. And back then in the 90s, the only thing we used to have on the TV was Rambo and Commandos. That's the only movie you get to watch So from Rambo and Commando, it's a completely picture, right? And then you come to England and it's like, yeah, disappointed. I remember walking into my mom's house in Colville Estate. And the first thing that come to my mind is, oh my God, we're poor. That was the first thing that come to my mind, is how poor my parents are.
So your parents came before you?
Yeah, so my parents came here in the early 70s.
All right,
Right.
okay.
When my parents came here, I thought I was about 2 years old, just about to turn 2. So still very young. To be fair, I don't think I can't tell you what my dad looked like until I came to England. And my mom, she came to Nigeria in the night, just 3 years before I came to England. And that was the first time I met my mom, right? So it's a different dynamic when I came to England. And but to paint a picture, before I come to England, I was in a private school in Nigeria, right? And private school in Africa is private school. If you can afford to send your kid to a private school in Africa, you're one of the elite. So I was in a private school where I have British teachers, kids from all over but wealthy kids, right? From Nigeria, like politicians and also. And when I left boarding school, I go to my uncle's house, which, big house. We have compound that you run around here or there. We had guava trees. You get fruit trees. You got mango trees in your garden, right? Because the garden is so massive. And then I come here, no garden. I remember asking them, because the word we use in Nigeria is compound or verandas. And I remember asking this, like, where's your compound? And everyone laughed at me, like, what are you talking about? I'm like, don't you have a yard where, no, we got a balcony with and I think the most disappointing thing is the housing system, because, how can I put it? I did not like the look of the block of the brick walls when I first came here, and the house was so tiny in Jordan House. Although there was full of, I think the people made the estate for me. Like I remember doing this, right, on the wall, and my hand could touch both walls.
At your home?
At my home. If I do that at my home in Nigeria, my hand ain't touching both walls. No way.
So you came here from a relatively comfortable background.
Yes.
And you came here and your parents were here, you joined your parents and you felt this is not what you expected.
Absolutely no. And I think, I don't know, maybe because I was just a kid and I didn't know the difference.
How old were you when you came?
I was 13.
13.
Yeah. But, my knowledge from Nigeria is my parents went abroad and they're doing great. I never thought my mom is in abroad doing caring work, and then working 3 jobs. That's what I came to when I came. Mom was doing cleaning in the morning, go to cares in the afternoon, and then come back and go to cleaning the office, right? And this is a woman that was a payroll manager in Nigeria, right? And that's what I know my mom does. My uncles and my aunties, they got a job. They work in the bank, they work in the government official. And before my parents came here, my dad was working in the bank, mom was a payroll. That's how they met. Mom was a payroll manager where he worked.
So Rami, here, if I understand correctly, if we park for a moment your disappointment with the infrastructure and the house, what remains with you is the positive impression that you had of the people.
The people, yeah.
So perhaps one could say what makes a place is really the people.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
So tell me, over the years, the changes that have occurred in Colville Estate or Hoxton, how has it impacted the people?
When you see, like, yes, when I come to England and I come to Colville Estate, it was the people. Matter of fact, the boys in this estate welcomed me straight away. I remember I came in the winter, right in December. Again, never felt cold in my life. I was sleeping upstairs, right, and I woke up to the entire boys in the estate going, wake him up, wake him up, wake him up. And then they woke me up and that's Marcus brother, watching it. And from there, we was outside playing, right? And I went to school. I was protected by them. I feel welcome straight away, like I was part of like I've been here for that long, And as we grow older, of course, it's normal. We all went to different aspects of life. And also the area have changed that to the point that we cannot afford to stay here anyway, unless we want to stay in our mother's house forever. So we have no choice for my group of friends to sort of like scatter out. And then obviously the regeneration, which I think began around 2012, sort of started slowly in Shoreditch. It kind of started in Shoreditch with the Brick Lane crowd and slowly coming to Hoxton and then eventually Hoxton Street, which is a completely different Hoxton to the Hoxton I grew up in now.
What are the key differences?
So you've got the good sort of businesses that we know. For example, you have Maria that was in the Maria Fish and Chip, which she sold 3 years ago. Maria was amazing. Any one of us could go into that fish and chip shop and get food from Maria, either you have money or not. Maria probably know everyone by name, right? The same thing with Chicken Express. In Chicken Express, we had a lady called Winnie, a Chinese woman. And Winnie, she made the best chicken that I've ever, the best fried chicken when she was at Chicken Express. Everyone know who she was. She know who everyone, she know every single one of us by name.
What happened to them?
They sold and moved. Regeneration started happening. And then that regeneration, I don't know if the price went up, which probably did on them. I mean, Maria kind of sold time ago, so the winning followed. So when you walk that food, that's the same thing with the Turkish supermarket, right? That guy probably have watched her grow. The same thing with these guys. These Turkish guys here, he probably watched us from a kid. The other day I went in there and asked him, how old was she when I was 14? And I guess he probably the age I am now when I was that age, So you have those kind of pillar of the community, right? We used to have a club just where they build the towers are. Where they build the towers are, we used to have a club called CJ's, right? We got
Is that like a youth center?
Okay, but it's more than a youth center.
Okay.
The reason why I say it's more than a youth center is CJ is a family, right? It was run by a guy called Julio, right? And Julio's an absolutely flamboyant, very loud person. But what Julio's good at is getting money into communities. So while most youth clubs have the basic kind of like table tennis and stuff, in CJs, we have a deck. If you want to learn to be a DJ, if you want to learn to be an MC, we tell Julio we want a studio. The guy built an entire professional studio. Every Friday we have a meal in CJs, right? Cooked by staff, cooked by some of us. We sit down, we discuss live. They share their experience with us. It was a Christian mission base, so we have to talk about the Bible and some of Christians way. But overall, it was brilliant experience, and CJs was there. And our parents probably feel comfortable knowing that every Friday we're in CJs.
Is he still here?
No, it's gone.
It's gone.
CJs closed down. They sold the building. We now have 2 tower blocks.
So the pillars of the community, in the sense that they gave you a sense of belonging.
Yes, absolutely.
They gave you a sense of attachment.
Yes.
They're all gone.
Yes.
So now, when you walk in Colville Estate, what kind of an impression do you have? How do you feel today after all these changes?
About Colville Estate? It's changed a lot, isn't it? We got half of the old estate. We don't even have the old estate. We got half of the building left. And I think, apart from this one in the front here, maybe a couple of the building. I don't know. That's warehouse. I don't know what this one is called now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. During those time, there's still few faces that live in the estate from before. But I think because of the regeneration, they're moving other people into the estate while they were so that people have been moved around the old Colville Estate that don't really know.
So the original people, what happened to them?
They've been moved into the new block, most of them. So we have the new building at the back that they've been moved into, and I don't like the buildings.
You don't like it?
Everyone's closed off. You don't know who lives in your building. I'm thinking about it, right? It's quite isolated if you're a single person living by yourself. Because before, we have this open estate, right? And where you can see your neighbor. Someone come out of the house, someone could see you. Someone know if this person haven't come out, in a while. So they might check on you, right? But now you got a block where people don't see each other. You know, I mean, if you live on the same floor, you might see each other, you know, coming out of your house. But I think people have been boxing. That's the best way I could describe it. And yeah, that's not good. Because, like, for example, in the block my mom in, Dorchester House, there's a couple of single people in there, like single male and stuff, right? And it's not good for them.
But was it safe as children to roam around the
The
Colville
estate.
Estate?
Oh yeah, Colville Estate was
Nobody bothered you?
no. Colville Estate was absolutely safe. I mean, even when we was up to like naughty things that we shouldn't be up to, it was still safe. It was protected by parents. It was protected by others. It's not necessarily have to be my mom, but you know, it was protected by people. You know, like we have Uncle Hassan. We all call Uncle Hassan, right? Because for example, you know, again, this is why community is important, right?
Tell us about Uncle Hassan.
Because half of us growing up in this estate, probably single mothers, right? And now our mothers be boys. Mom could always say so much to me. She could always shout so much. I'm still gonna go out. I'm still gonna come back at 2 a.m. in the morning because it's that stage, you know, that young man stage when you're being, you know. But when that happens now, all our parents call Uncle Hassan. And Uncle Hassan will come to the house and discipline you. Right?
How would he discipline you?
He will talk to you. Sometimes he grabs your hair. If there is children, he will hit. He used to have a pole, right? He used to leave a pole behind his door. So when the kids comes in and open that door, that pole drop and wakes him up. And he will eat them with that pole if he can, you know. But at the same time, it was a loving man. You know, like on a good Saturday evening, we could all be in Uncle Hassan's house, playing video game in the room. He will cook for us.
Where is he now?
He's still in the estate. He's still in the estate.
In the estate?
Yeah, but in the old estate. I'm
right.
guessing they're going to be moved as well to the new. You know.
Do you still go and say hello to him?
Oh yeah, I still say hello to him. Like I say, it's like an uncle to all of us. You know what I mean? So even more a father figure. To be fair, I think that's probably the best way to put a father figure, because I couldn't name many family in this estate. I could count actually. I could name them. Bayo had mom and dad at home. The Aymond, oh sorry, but not many of us. You know, not many of us on the estate had mom and dad at home. So you could count how many people had a father figure. So he kind of stepped in.
So would you say that the way the Colville Estate was planned, the architecture of the area enabled people to form a closer relationship?
Absolutely.
And if that is the case, would you think that, I mean, this is a question, would you think that the way regeneration has been planned somehow has neglected this particular unique feature of the Colville
Absolutely.
Estate?
I think it's not about community. You know, community is not it's not in front of the regeneration. All they think about is building a house that putting as much number of people into one building, trying to put the entire estate now into 2 buildings, which, you know, how many blocks in the estate? At least I say more than 10 blocks, right? And now those 10, everyone living in that 10 block family have been skewed into 1 or 2 buildings, so they could give the rest to private. And that's where we are.
And do you think that changes the dynamics
that
of
destroyed
the community?
Completely destroyed the community. And I mean, we still have, thank God, the community center still trying to bring, you know, to pull all of that in, right? If we did it, let's say we never have the community center, that won't be pulled in. You know, like before the community center, our public still will not have that certain people are still in their estates, right? So, and also what community center have actually done, from my perspective, is we have some aunties on the estate that when I was young, you know, which is it's reasonable. It's reasonable. Will never speak to, will not bloody speak to me when I was young, right? Which is absolutely reasonable, right? Because we were some little, back then. And now as an adult, we come into community and we could have conversation and we could talk and stuff, right? And no, it's not that necessary they think we're bad boys. Some of them didn't agree with some of our characters, which, and they still
So
never
you were a troublemaker.
I
Is that
would say,
why they didn't talk to you?
no, that ain't say I'm a troublemaker, but I think, as you get to that 1920, you start doing boy stuff, like driving cars, hanging around the estate, start to experiment with things in life, And some people just say, some parents get it, they just say, the kids, they're going to grow up out of it. And some people didn't, some people just look at us like, but they still didn't say nothing. There was no aggression there. And then
So
after,
which school did you go to when you were living in Colville Estate?
I went to Almaty Boys School, which is now closed down.
All right. Where was it?
That was in Almaty.
Near the Homerton Hospital, that area.
Yeah, just literally, I should come off, 242 used to go down there, Main Street, you come up, walk through the graveyard towards the hospital, and it used to be right there. It's now called Acne Community something.
Okay. So the school changed name and it's...
it's been rebuilt. It's part of the regeneration. Most schools in Acne has been regenerated to sort of like, the schools that we went to in the 90s and early 2000s are all changed now, been rebuilt, changed name.
So most of you and your generation went to the same school?
Yes, which was brilliant.
That was you traveled all together?
All together in the morning.
And you came back all together?
All together. We all come out of our house, knock on each other's door. We started off here. We come out, me and Ken, we come out. Me and my brother, we come downstairs. Michael, another guy called Michael, he lived below us. We knock for him. Then we go downstairs, knock for Ken and food. Then as we walk through the estate, Bayo joins us and people just joins. And by the time we get to the bus stop, there are probably 12 of us.
Okay.
And we go on the bus and see in the back, make a lot of noise, get to school. And the good thing is that we're all in different years. So and we look after each other as well. So that was important.
Of these, the kids that you went to the school and who lived here, any of them still live here?
Yeah, one or two.
But the rest have moved out?
The rest have moved out, yes.
They've moved out because of the regeneration? Or because of life?
Because of life, and mainly because they can't afford to live there. They can't afford. Most of us can't afford to live in the area we grew up. That's the how do I say? That's the price you paid for growing up in the South area. Although we like it, we have a memory here, but that memory is now gone.
So imagine I'm in a position for us to go back in time, let's say 2010, 2011, and I come to you as a local resident and say, look, some of these houses, they need a lot of work and it's costly. We might be better off financially to knock them down and rebuild. But we want to make sure that it remains solidly a community environment. How would you advise me to proceed if that's what I want to do? In other words, I'm trying to understand if, in hindsight, of course, life is easy, but how would you have dealt with what a lot of people think, or some people think, was necessary in terms of the maintenance costs, the movement of population into central urban areas? How would you have done it?
Touching on that, I completely understand that the estate needs to be regenerated. They probably built in the 80s, right? So it's been a long time. What, 70s? In the 50s? Oh my God. So they built in the 50s, right? So of course they need to go, right? Maybe that's why I was so small and disappointed when I came in the 90s. Now that makes perfect sense now. It needs to be done, right? But as a way of doing it, when you get the estate involved, from old people to young people, and they work with the designers. right? And say what kind of estate they want to live in, right? And for me, when I look at it, I think they could have rebuilt the whole thing, and instead of tower blocks, do something beautiful around. Where there's a park in the middle of the estate, people come out of their house, they could see people playing like we do now. You know, do something like that. The balconies are looking towards the canal, and I don't want to see people on the canal, although it looks nice. But I want to look down and see children playing. I want to come out and see kids playing like we used to. You know, so they could have built something like that, right? They could have built some, you know. Yeah, I think they could have built something more with community in mind rather than putting money. I think in this situation, it was all about profit was put forward rather than thinking about the community.
Can you imagine yourself living elsewhere in anywhere other than, you know, Hoxton?
You know what? I've asked
Shoreditch
myself this
area?
question. I've asked myself this question many times. And I'll tell you, I don't like the regeneration. I'll tell you that straight. I don't like the new crowd in this area, straight up.
What's wrong with them?
Most of them are nice. Most of them are beautiful people to have conversation with and get to know each other. But there's certain things how do we go? My biggest problem is the dog poo on the floor.
Okay.
That is often that probably the most annoying thing in this area now for me. Because I grew up in this area, people own dogs. Yes, people in the estate own dogs. But I've never walked around this estate or walked down the road and there was a dog on the floor. Never. And now, because I was away for a little bit, right? And I've been back in mom's house for a year now. I've never seen so much dog crap on the floor that I've seen in this last couple of years. And it's disgraceful. We never had that before. And it's these new young people that are coming in with all their different type of dogs, and they're just living there. You go to Shoreditch Park right now and walk through that park and tell me what you see. It'll be people's dog. Go to Rosemary Park, you know, and that's my biggest.
These two parks have always been here.
They've always been there. Shoreditch Park's always been there. I spent many years in Shoreditch Park. You know, where Britannia is right now, that used to be a football pitch right there.
Okay.
We used to call it the gravel pit because you had gravel on there. And I probably spent many hours of my teenage years on that place. The same thing with Rosemary. Rosemary got a football court there.
So you're a football fan?
I used to be.
Which club you support?
Man United. So you can understand why I used to be, right? So that makes sense, right? And
they called them London Red Devils or something?
We used to call the Red Devil. That's what I don't know what devil we are now. But, I mean, back then I used to play football. When I said support United, and I was never really like a football fan. I play football, and that's where it stopped. But you know, at that age, right, you play football, and everyone like, I support this club. So you kind of have to go along with the teenage fans and say, yeah, I support United. And at the time, United was doing pretty well, right? So it was easy to support United.
So the boys, I'm just trying to. I mean, I'm new to the area.
Yeah.
So here you had a wonderful community. People looked after each other. People paid attention to the life around them, insofar as how it impacts the children. So the boys would play football, and I don't know if at the time girls' football was popular.
We have girls in the
what did the? I'm trying to get a sense of how safe it was for young girls and young ladies to walk around the Colville Estate. Do you think they were safe?
Absolutely safe. My father, the girls would beat up the boys.
The girls would beat up the boys?
Absolutely. We have girls in the estates. Couple estate girls are nothing to be messed with. No one is, they will defend us if boys come to fight us in the estate. Some of the girls could defend us.
So some boys would come to fight with Colville Estate boys. Why would they do that?
I mean, you see, back then, Acne was the old Acne was very gang mentality, right? So you have fellow Scott boys, We got Colville Estate, then you have Hoxton boys, then we have Holy Street boys, then you got London Field, then you got Springfield. And when I was growing up, right, was big. Which
Just gangs.
it goes into every school. So
Okay.
every school, every college in Hackney, we have this, right? And something could get serious, but most of the time it's minor stuff. You know, it's boys looking at each other, just minor issues.
Sort of testosterone driven.
Exactly, you know, kids being kids.
Gangs, right?
Yeah, exactly, right? Well, the dangerous side to that is you have the other lot that was slightly, we was teenagers, then you have the guys in the 20s, and those guys will bring the violence and all the other element to it. And even though some of those guys, as bad they may be, they still look out for the young people, you know? And so yeah, Cover's always safe, Hoxton's always safe. It's just one of those things that if you're from the area at the time, it's safe for you, you know? But if not from the area, you could get picked on. But not in Colville Estate, we didn't do that. We might do that outside the estate, but we never did that in the estate. Everyone was welcome in the estate, right? Even in CJs, everyone was welcome. But if you go to another estate,
well, Uncle Hassan will come and teach
exactly,
you a lesson,
and teach you a lesson. So we was well behaved in the estate. It's when we out the estate that we kind of, you know.
Was there you mentioned Uncle Hassan, who was a sort of influential local person in terms of looking after the young kids. Was there an equivalent, a female equivalent of Uncle Hassan, who the girls could go to and talk to, or?
I'm sure there must be, but
you don't know.
I don't know. There must be. I mean, we had Julio, Latana, Julio's wife. So Latana was there with the girls because we had the same girls come to CJs with us. You know, so Latana was there for the girls. I can't think of. I mean, it's one of those roles that's individual people that take a lot, like Ronnie's mom. I know Ronnie's mom speak to a lot of the girls. So that was individuals, right? And the same thing with I mean, in Colville Estate, us boys, and I don't know about the rest, us boys feel like we have more than one mothers, right? Because, I mean, we still do that stuff, don't get me wrong. But at any point when we see someone's mom coming or a female adult coming, we're kind of like trying to hide what they're doing and stuff like that, right? And
so you try to behave.
You try to behave, and sometimes all they have to do is give you a look, right? And that look says it all, you know. So from the male, like Uncle Hassan become the woman, the mother just give you that look, and you know, hey, you know.
And tell me, I mean, in terms of, I mean, I imagine at the time the Co-op or the Lidl or Sainsbury, they weren't around here. So where would people go to buy their,
like I said, we have
groceries?
local shops.
So you had the corner shops.
We have the corner shops. We have the Brothers at the back. We have the Hoxton supermarket in Hoxton.
The Turkish,
the Turkish
shops.
Yeah. And then we had Iceland was there actually for a long time. Iceland was there for a long time. Well, if you want to do like shopping and that, your other option kind of like Dustin Shopping Center.
Okay.
Which was a lot better back then than what it is now.
In what way? In what way was better?
I mean, the market still got the culture, but the shopping center itself, is gone, isn't it? Like when you go through it now, just people in the middle selling all type of nonsense.
There was mostly more local owned businesses rather than chains.
Yeah, no. I mean, we have Sainsbury's. We have big Sainsbury's in there. We are KFC that used to be in there. The Sainsbury's still there, but the Sainsbury's is completely dead now. I spent every Saturday as a kid. I was in Sainsbury's, right, with mom.
In Dalston.
In Dalston, that was the routine. Every Saturday morning, mom goes to work. She comes back. She phones us. We come downstairs, gets in the car, go to Dalston.
Do the shopping.
Do the shopping, start from the market, go to Iceland, go to Sainsbury's, right?
You know, when you go to Hoxton Street, as you enter the Hoxton Street from Colville Estate, on your right-hand side, there's a very small parade of shops. There is one that sells second-hand fridge, washing machine.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
next to it, there is a small,
Well, those are like
grocery
grocery
shop.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
yes. Those
were
two
they always there?
always there. The fridge guy actually went to school with some of his son,
Okay.
and that man probably see us growing as well.
And the shop next to it,
The shop next to it, that's my friend's shop, my friend's mom's shop. Again,
still there.
still there. They've been part of the estate before I've been part of the estate. You know what I mean? They probably was here in the 60s. I don't know. If it was built in the 50s, maybe they was here 70s
And you
or
used to
something.
go and buy anything from them?
Yeah, I used to go into the shop, but not to do massive shopping. But yeah, the fridge guy is a bit of a rip-off, if I'm honest. So he's a nice guy, but I won't suggest anyone go there.
No, what I'm trying to get to understand is that because here was a tremendously strong community,
Yeah.
did that mean that you also went to local shops
Oh yeah.
to buy from them, to eat from them,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they depended on Colville Estate community? And if so, the loss of some of those businesses, would that be because the demographic have changed in Colville Estate?
Absolutely. Let's go back quickly to the regeneration of Colville Estate, of knocking that building. Where Dorchester houses
Okay.
along that back, we used to have shops there, right?
Okay.
The Bum Bum used to be right there on the corner. Next to them was Maria's, which she actually on Bum Bum. So you have two shops. You used to have Bum Bum, the corner shop, the Caribbean shop, the barber, and I think the tailor was there as well, right? And Maria used to own the Bum Bum and the Caribbean shop, right?
Okay.
And again, we all ate from that shop. We all grow up in the Caribbean shop eating. We all know what's her name? Anna. That's it. We all know Anna. Anna used to get involved. Matter of fact, Anna get involved more in our business than her parents did sometimes, you know. So Anna was proper involved. You know, she had a daughter. Her daughter was there, and eventually she sold to the Turkish brother. And again, they was there working with the dad. Probably those brothers probably coming in their maybe in their 30s. I'm sure they're pretty much in their 50s now or going towards 60s.
So some of these regeneration amounts to a loss of business for some, because the people who typically would buy from them are not here anymore.
No longer there. Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, I imagine a wine shop in Hoxton Street will not be able to attract.
No. I actually think it's the opposite. Just thinking about this, how to word this. That's the good side of regeneration, what you just said now. Because Bum Bum, I don't know, but my guess, back then, they're probably struggling, right, in terms of customers. Because the reason being is, it was estate. They were surrounded by estates. It's ethnic minority estates. My mom, we got to Bum Bum to top up our bus pass. That's about it. We got to the market to get everything else, right? It was more of us young generation that got to these shops at the back, right? That's what make it community, right? And that's how they get to know us. So now, I think my guess is they're actually making more money. Like Bum Bum now, they're now surrounded by quite a lot of young generation now. So you got this tower block, you're probably full of young professionals. They got more disposable money to spend. The pub across the road, Bum Bums, when we were younger, it was full of granddads. Now that pub is packed with young people. You come there on a Good Friday night, they're all over the street, right? And those guys, they go to the pub. That pub wasn't making money before. It's now making money. Those same crowd going to go into Bum Bum at any point to get a cigarette, to get a drink. So on that aspect, I think it's good, you know. Like you mentioned the wine bar. That wine bar probably had no business back then, right? Because people.
But was there a wine bar?
There are a couple, maybe.
No, I mean, I'm talking about.
Oh, not at the back, not in Kovu. No, we had the pub at the back, you know.
So
But
pub was the place where people went to drink.
we never went to the pub.
No, I mean not you. I mean
Yeah, to drink, yeah, but it was
the
more of
older people.
yeah, it was more of an older crowd, right? And when I'm in older crowd, like people's granddad,
Yes.
you know, my friend's granddad in the estate goes there, you know, and now the crowd is completely different, which I think is good for the businesses. I absolutely think the regeneration is good for the businesses.
So it's life, isn't it? You win some, you lose some.
Absolutely, but that's putting money and business over the people. You see?
On that note, I thank you, Rami. It's been certainly for me, it has been an education. I have really enjoyed talking to you. Are there any questions from the floor?
No.
No, I think you gave such a beautiful account that left no questions to be asked. But thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
I'm glad that I had the opportunity to speak to you and to know you.
Yeah, it's been a
And
pleasure.
hopefully, CETRA will play a role in maintaining the roots and the tradition of Colville Estate going forward. Thank you. Have a very good evening.
You too. Yeah.